Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara, coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. So, today we're going to do a bit of gluing, and I'm going to tell you about what I have in front of me right now. My junk journal group, which I run on Facebook, and you can find the link in the description down below, is called Trashy, Smashy, Funky, Junky Junk Journals, and it's a place where we put the junk, how do I get my fingers, there we are, the junk in the junk journal. So anyways, every month I have a challenge, and sometimes they're a little bit bigger and sometimes they're a little smaller. They're always easy to do, and they use some kind of junk or trash that we have around the house. So anyways, the challenge for January, in December we didn't have a challenge, but I gave the members some homework to collect their Christmas cards. And so the challenge this month was to use your Christmas cards as pages for a junk journal, and you're wide open to whatever kind of junk journal you want to make. Only the Christmas cards have to be the pages, and secondly, we have to take the Christmas out of them, so we can't make a Christmas themed journal. So any other theme or no theme at all, as long as there is not a Christmas theme. So I got my Christmas cards together, and I kind of thought I wanted to do something a little bit different. So what I did was I took each Christmas card, here's one, and I'm going to show you from the other way around. So here's my Christmas card, and I taped it to the next Christmas card. And then I took the next card and put it so that I was going in hills and valleys to make an accordion book. And I took the next one and I taped it to the next one, and so on, all the way through, so that I have an accordion book. So it didn't, since I was taking the Christmas out of these, it didn't matter whether the cards went upside down or right side up or backwards or whatever. Now, since my cards were all different sizes, one thing I had to decide was that my front and back cover were not going to be the same size. So I picked the two biggest ones, which was this one, which was quite wide but very tall, and then the other one was a short one, but it was much wider than the other ones. So I decided to put the short and wide one as a back cover, and the tall and wide one as the front cover. So the next thing, once I had these all put together, and I did have one that was a little different than the others. That's this one. This one went sideways, so I put it in like this, side to side, and now instead of the card opening that way, it opens this way, and I've got a fancy flip. So I decided that I wanted, first of all, I was just thinking I would gesso all the pages and start from there, but I wanted some of the color and in the handwriting to be on my pages. So what I've done is I have a great big tin over here on my left hand side. I'll bring it over and just quickly show it to you. So yeah, I have this tin. It's a great big Walker's shortbread tin that I keep all my scraps of paper and Happy Meal that I don't use, and that I don't use right away, and just stuff that I don't want to put away, I put in there. So I'm going through my pages, and I'm using neutral colors mostly, and collaging down a background, keeping some of the stuff that I want to keep. So this card right here had the brown snowflake pattern in there, so I've kept that covered up some of the other stuff. Then here, a little bit more colorful than what I was going for, and I do seem to be getting more colorful as I go along, but I have to knock that back. Some of these I'll end up putting gesso over to tame them better. So yeah, I've just been putting bits and bobs. I'm not really using any focal images at this point, even though I did put this photograph in. So this is where I am at the moment, and all we're gonna do is take some neutral pieces like this and glue them onto the pages until I'm happy with them. And I am going over the folds as I do this too, so that it'll all run together. So I'm not sure when I get there if I'm gonna have pictures that, you know, like double spreads and that sort of thing. So yeah, that's all we're doing for this. I'll just sit down and do some of this gluing with you. While I'm at it, I might as well have my camera on. I haven't done any filming lately. I just haven't really had my mojo. I've gotten back into reading this month. I barely read anything at all last month. I've been a book blogger for, oh, I don't know, since 2005, so yeah, we're looking at what, 14 years? And I was up to the point where I read a lot of graphic novels and manga, so counting those, I was up to like 400 books a year that I was reading. Not last year, but the previous couple of years there, so definitely read 300 for quite a while. Okay, see, I think I'm going to leave that page. There's a little bit of the original card showing through here, but just going to leave that. So where was I? Oh yeah, but last year with all the crap that went on with the 2 family deaths and my health and everything, it just, I lost my reading mojo. I just couldn't concentrate, and I was doing a lot of arting, especially glue booking, because I like to do that when I don't want to think. And I have to say that a lot of my art is what I do when I don't want to think. It's I do a lot of intuitive stuff. I never ever plan anything. I might plan that I'm going to use a certain piece, but then I just let it all come together as it's going to. So yeah, that's what I do for my art. And so anyways, reading's been taking up a lot of my time this month. I think I've read about 6 books so far in January. I'm reading thrillers. Those have been my favorite for several years. I go through reading patterns. I've been into like practically everything. Horror, I used to read, I used to like fantasy, so, but I've always gone back to mysteries. I started off liking them as a kid with Agatha Christie, but now I'm more into the thriller stuff and psychological thriller. So I think that's what I'm going to do with that page. Now, this one has been causing me some concern because I would like to leave that, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get out my gloss gel, if it's handy. Where is it? And here it is. Oh, right there. Okay, so I'm going to add my gloss gel so that I keep the shine. And I'm just gonna glue some papers onto this. So today, I just felt like I needed to get something on camera since I've missed the last couple of days. And, you know, I want to keep up with my schedule of giving you guys a video every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But if I'm not doing a lot of art, then sometimes I just don't have anything to take a video of. And these kind of things where I just chat is not exactly my thing. I never have anything terribly exciting to say. I'm trying to keep myself talking right now, so I hope I'm not boring you to death with my mundane life stories. Okay, let's find something that's neutral. Oh, there we go. This is nice. More music. From that stuff, so let's cover up that tree. Yeah, so I forget what I was saying, but it was that I was gonna videotape myself doing this, because that's basically what I felt like doing was gluing and working on this. And you know, it's not exactly exciting to watch somebody glue, so I'm definitely not going to, you know, speed this up, because then it would be terribly boring. So those of you who don't like to listen to people talk and chat about nothing in particular may want to skip this video. But today is like the coldest day of the year. The weather doesn't get very cold here in Niagara Falls. Okay, so I'm done with my soft gel. That's the only shiny page I had in here. We don't get a lot of, well, it doesn't get very cold, and we don't get a lot of snow here in Niagara Falls because we're in a valley, and whatever happens will pass us over. So it may it may have a snowstorm in the surrounding areas. Like the nearest city to us is St. Catharines, Ontario. So they could get a bad snowstorm, but we won't get it. And then the closest city on the other side is Buffalo, New York. And I mean, you all know the types of storms that they get in Buffalo. We don't see any of that here. But anyways, a couple of days ago, we just had this humongous dump of snow. And then after it snowed, the weather turned cold. And it was minus 20 degrees Celsius yesterday. And for us, that is freaking cold. And anyways, we're hoping that it would be better today, but it snowed again during the night, and the temperature today with the wind chill factor is minus 33 degrees Celsius. Needless to say, my son's school bus was canceled, and he was joyous at that. He couldn't contain his excitement of getting a Monday off of, no, it's not Monday, it's Tuesday, of getting a day off of school. So yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I don't go out when it's cold, and my pain levels go up in the cold. But fortunately, I'm actually doing pretty good today. Just keeping it warm in the house for a change. We usually don't use the heater very much. It's just too expensive. So we're the kind of people who dress warmly so that we don't have to turn on the heat very high. But with my conditions, I just can't do that anymore. Need to, oh, let's pull out a pile here and work from it. Now that's glittery. And yeah, so not going anywhere today. Not in this cold. Don't think my husband has to work today. He had to work yesterday, last night, so he works outside at his winter job, so that's not fun for him at all, especially at night time, which is when he works. I don't know about that flip. Should I collage that? That's not sticking. Okay, I was just checking to see if you were on screen because I've been so carried away with what I'm doing that I'm not even paying attention if you're on screen. A little bit down there, but let's put this all the way down like that. So the glue that I'm using right now is Perfect Paper Adhesive. It used to be one of my favorite collaging glues. It's, do I have the bottle here? I should have it somewhere. Oh, here, here it is. That's it. USA Art Quest Perfect Paper Adhesive, and I use the matte, everything. Of course, the bottle could look differently now. I bought this eons ago. But, like I said, it used to be one of my favorites because it doesn't warp paper very much. But since I've found out about matte medium, I've realized that this is basically the same thing. It probably just has a tiny bit of PVA inserted into it. So it is a bit, like, it's not stickier that it sticks better than matte medium, but it's just, it's tackier while you're using it, that's all. Okay, I think that's all I'll do with that piece. Work the fold in. Just grab some more stuff here. Tons of stuff, but just looking for neutral. And I know this tape isn't neutral, but it had a great big pile of it that came off of a package. It was laying on my desk, so we used it. Okay, need to close this up. Okay, so it's drying as I go along here. So this week I'm not going to the pain clinic. We decided we would try and see how I got on going 2 weeks between a shot, because I've done it because of having to cancel. It's hard with my husband's work schedule to be able to get out there every week. And I can only go on Thursdays because the doctor that I see is from Hamilton. And he comes down to the office in St. Catharines, which is our closest. And yeah, every Thursday, so that's the day he sees his patients down here. So we're going to see how I go. And like I said, my pain is doing pretty good right now. Got my shot on Thursday and it's Tuesday, and I mean my pain, I don't want to like go on and on about my health, but I'll just quickly say this. My pain, like, it's never gone, but you know, there's levels of it, and you know, throughout my life of dealing with chronic pain, I've come to tolerate a different threshold than I would have, like, say, 20 years ago. So pain, I guess, in a sense, is relative. Okay, now this is a card I wasn't too sure what I was going to do with either, because it has, let's get this down. Okay, let's make sure you're in screen, because I'm starting to lose space from all this junk. Alright, so you're back in screen. Alright, so this card, wasn't too sure what I wanted to do with, because it's got, so that's sparkle snow there, which I thought would be a nice element to keep. But I do want to cover up all this gold stuff, so maybe if I use some big pieces of this and just go around it. Okay, I need to squeeze out more paint. Let's see, how long are we? 24 minutes. Okay, so I was figuring I would be with you for about half an hour. But the things that I have upcoming that I want to get to is, I have all, back in December, if you watch Lori Marie Jenkins, she had this December challenge to make a really, really junk journal. And I just like wanted to do that so badly. So I gathered together all my papers by, like, I started in my trash in my room. And then I basically just got together papers that were laying all over the place. And I put together all sorts of weird things. Like, man, I can't remember what's in there. Gift wrap bags, envelopes, boxes, file folders, and, you know, stuff like watercolor paper and cardstock and envelopes and plastic wrap and all sorts of things. So I got that all together to make a 3-signature junk journal, and I happened to have a parcel had arrived, and I still had in my room the box. So I'm going to use the box for the covers. So I will film myself doing that when I get to it. But I want to get this guy all ready to be working in, just to do some general glue booking. Okay, so I can use these pieces to cover up these 2 cards, then I will have the majority of this front side done. And I'll just keep you with me till I've done that. I've also gotten a few supplies in over the month of January, so I'll have an art haul this month too, or at the end of the month. Where'd my paper go? There it is. See, I'm going over the edges. We'll cut those off when I've finished this. So this card right here is a card that we get from a politician that's not even in our province. I signed a petition that he had out like several years ago now, and ever since then he sent me a Christmas card, or put me on his Christmas card list, I should say. It's a picture of his family, and I hate it when people do that. Like, especially people you don't know, like politicians or like businesses. I don't want a picture of their family. Why would I want a picture of their family? Come on. I mean, if it's your family and they send you a Christmas card picture, that's okay. I still find it kind of tacky. But, you know, if that's what they want to do, then, you know, you've got a picture to put it in your photo album or your scrapbook, or in my case, my daily journal. But, yeah, no, I think that's really tacky. So anyways, if going to be getting them, or as long as he's in office, I guess, which has been a long time. So, I think we will call that it. I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll be working on the other side, and there's not really as much to do on that side. There's a few. Here, let me get you in screen again. And there's a few cards that are turned which way around. See, I like having the handwriting peeking through. So there's a few that were turned backwards and have the covers. This is all matte, so I don't really need to do anything like that. And paw prints are not Christmas, so don't worry about that. I'll cover up the words that say Christmas just to make sure they don't poke through. And yeah, it won't take me long to do that side. Then my next step will be to do some gessoing. And maybe I'll come on again when I get to that point of doing the gessoing. And then I'll just use this to do some junk journaling in whenever I feel like gluing in pictures and make it into a kind of a wet glue book. By wet, I mean using wet medium. My glue books, the things that I call a glue book for myself is something that I only use dry medium. It's something that I can crawl into bed with, sit up, push up all my pillows, turn on one of my shows on the computer, and just sit there and glue sticks, scissors in, magazine, and just glue stuff down. Those are my glue books. And you've seen flips of all of those. I don't have one on the go. Well, no, that's not true. I found one last night. I started feeling like gluing, so I got it. I found the glue book that I'm working on. I'm not very far into it, but between this and that, I should be able to keep myself busy with gluing until I get some mojo to get the paints out again. Actually, do you know what? Hey, just before I finish here, I know what's coming up is I'm going. You know that watercolor workshop book that I showed you probably my last haul or a couple hauls ago. I am going to start working in that soon, and I just want to get a couple things out of the way. Then I'm going to start going through that book, and I'm going to do some of it on camera with you. Like, I can't show you the content of the book or teach you the lessons, but I can, like, read the lesson, you know, because that would, like, infringe on the copyright of the book, because, you know, if you want that stuff, you can go get the book and learn the lesson yourself. But I will sit down once I'm ready to do the lesson and do the lesson in the book, and you guys can watch me and give me some tips or whatever. So yeah, that's what will be coming up. So I'm just going to finish off gluing up this kitty here. I'm going to leave some of this part showing through because it's a nice natural color. So yeah, in the meantime, until next time, bye-bye.